Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of big, bold, and powerful cruisers with a feature on a beast that turned heads and twisted necks when it first rolled onto the scene, the Kawasaki Vulcan 2000. This isn't just any motorcycle. This is one of the most powerful V-twin cruisers ever built. It's a muscle cruiser with attitude, and today, we're going to explore what made this bike so iconic, what kind of performance it delivers, and why it's still remembered as a legend even years after its release. So let's start with what made the Vulcan 2000 stand out in the first place: the engine. Kawasaki didn't mess around when they built this machine. Underneath that classic cruiser styling is a monstrous 2053 cubic centimeters V-twin engine. That's right, over 2 liters of displacement in a motorcycle. This engine was, at the time of its release, the largest V-twin engine ever put into a production motorcycle. And with that size came serious torque. We're talking around 141 Newton meters at just 2,800 RPM. That means the power was right there from the get-go, giving you a hard-hitting pull in every gear. Whether you're cruising on the highway or rolling through city streets, the Vulcan 2000 delivered pure muscle. Now, it's not just about power. The Vulcan 2000 was engineered to handle that power smoothly and confidently. It came with electronic fuel injection, twin cams, and a digital ignition system that made throttle response crisp and predictable. And let's talk about how it sounds. The deep rumble of that big V-twin is music to any cruiser fan's ears. It's not obnoxious, but it's definitely commanding. That low growl turning into a throaty roar as you twist the throttle. That's the kind of stuff that puts a grin on your face every single ride. When it comes to looks, the Vulcan 2000 is the very definition of classic American cruiser, even though it's a Japanese bike. Long, low, and wide, with thick fenders and a massive front tire, it has that traditional cruiser silhouette that fans of the style love. The big chrome headlamp, wide handlebars, and sculpted fuel tank give it a commanding presence. The paint finishes were rich and glossy, and the chrome accents really brought out the premium feel of the bike. It was a bike built to be noticed, parked at a cafe or blasting down the highway. Comfort was another area where Kawasaki really nailed it with the Vulcan 2000. The seat was wide, plush, and positioned low to the ground, making it ideal for long-distance cruising. Passenger comfort was also a priority, with a broad pillion seat and sturdy foot pegs. The suspension setup, with a beefy 49mm front fork and a hidden rear monoshock, soaked up bumps with ease, even on rough roads. This wasn't a bike that punished you for going the distance. Instead, it invited you to keep riding. The frame was built tough, and the bike had a substantial curb weight of around 380 kilograms. That might sound heavy, but on the road, that weight gave it a planted, stable feel. It wasn't twitchy or nervous, it was solid and confident. And thanks to the belt final drive, it delivered smooth, low-maintenance performance that cruiser riders appreciate. Braking was another strong point. Kawasaki gave the Vulcan 2000 dual 300mm discs up front with 4-piston calipers, and a single 320mm disc at the rear. That's serious stopping power, and it was more than enough to keep all that torque under control. For a bike this big and powerful, having reliable brakes was essential, and the Vulcan 2000 delivered. Now let's talk about the experience. Riding the Vulcan 2000 is all about presence. It's not a sport bike. It doesn't slice through corners or beg to be leaned over. It cruises. It dominates. It's made for big roads, wide curves, and open landscapes. It's a bike that commands attention wherever it goes. When you roll up to a stoplight, other riders look. When you park it, people come over and ask questions. It's that kind of motorcycle, one that doesn't just get you places, but makes a statement while doing it. As for the price, back when it launched in the early 2000s, the Vulcan 2000 was priced around $14,000 in the US market. In India, if it had been available officially, it would have easily crossed the 12 to 15 Indian rupees lakh mark due to import duties and taxes. Today, since the model is no longer in production, it's become something of a collector's piece. You can find used examples on the market ranging anywhere from 5 Indian rupees to 8 Indian rupees lakh depending on condition, mileage, and customizations. And if you find one that's been well maintained, you're getting a whole lot of motorcycle for the money. There's something timeless about the Kawasaki Vulcan 2000. Even though it's no longer in production, it hasn't lost its appeal. It remains one of the boldest motorcycles Kawasaki ever built, and it still holds its own against newer bikes in terms of style and performance. If you're someone who appreciates the soul of a cruiser, the grunt of a massive V-twin, and the presence of a true heavyweight, the Vulcan 2000 is a bike you can fall in love with. That's all for today's feature on this legendary machine. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Kawasaki Vulcan 2000, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if you've ever ridden one or want to. Until next time, ride safe and keep the throttle twisted.